He was 69 years old. Sitting alone in his large, quiet living room, he felt the kind of silence that seemed to echo off the walls when nobody was there. The house was big, filled with everything he had worked for over the years. Success was real, the kind that people admired from the outside. Yet, as he looked around, something felt missing. His children, the very reason he had poured his life into work, were strangers to him now. The rooms were full of furniture, full of things, but empty of the warmth he had hoped to share. And in that quiet, he realized that all the achievements, all the late nights and early mornings, could never replace the presence of the ones he loved most. Michael was a hard-working man. He took care of his family and always tried to do the right thing. For years he worked long hours, early mornings before the sun came up, and late nights after everyone else had gone to sleep. Every day he told himself one thing: I'm doing this for my kids. A better house, so they could grow up in comfort. Better schools, so they could have opportunities he never had. A better future, so they could live a life free from struggle. Or at least, that's what he truly believed. He imagined their smiles when they stepped into that big house. He pictured them wearing neat uniforms in top schools. He imagined the pride he would feel, watching them succeed. But in his pursuit, he didn't realize the quiet price he was paying. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into years. And while he was building their future, he was slowly drifting away from their present. Evenings that could have been full of laughter were instead spent with work papers and endless meetings. He told himself it was temporary, a short sacrifice for a lifetime of security. Yet, deep down, something in the silence of his home whispered. The faint emptiness in the rooms, the quiet ticking of the clock, the missing laughter, it all hinted that something important was slipping away. While Michael was busy building his career, life was happening at home. Moments were passing quietly, slowly, without ever waiting for him. Days turned into months, and months quietly became years. One day, his son scored his first goal. The crowd cheered. Parents stood up with pride, and in that moment, his son looked into the stands, searching for one familiar face, hoping to find his father among the crowd. But Michael wasn't there. Another day, his daughter stood on a stage for the very first time. Bright lights filled the room, hands slightly shaking, a nervous but proud smile on her face. The moment felt big, unforgettable. She slowly scanned the audience, row by row, hoping to see her father's face, waiting, believing he would be there. But the seat meant for him remained empty, and once again, an important moment passed quietly. Without him, at home, bedtime stories slowly disappeared. No more questions like, "Can you read me one more?" Instead, there was silence, stretching through the hallways and empty rooms. Birthday dinners turned into short messages. Gifts replaced presents. Calls replaced hugs. Even laughter became rare. Michael kept telling himself, "I'll make it up someday." But someday kept getting delayed, quietly slipping further away. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. And something quietly changed, almost without anyone noticing. His children stopped waiting, stopped asking, stopped expecting. Not because they didn't care, but because they slowly learned how to grow without him. They learned to be strong on their own, and Michael never noticed the exact moment they stopped missing him. Because he was too busy living for a future that kept moving further away. A cold realization hit him. You can't rewind childhood. You can't replay moments. And you can't buy back time. All the hours he spent working, all the sacrifices he thought would matter, had left him with empty rooms and distant hearts. One evening, Michael sat alone in the quiet of his living room. He held the phone in his hand, but there was no call. He tried to remember. When was the last time he truly talked to his children? Not about grades, not about rules, not about what they should do, but about their dreams, their fears, the little things that mattered. He searched his memory and found nothing. Attention matters more than money. Presence matters more than perfection. And when attention is missing for too long, emotional distance sets in, becoming permanent. A quiet gap that can never be fully closed. Michael realized something that many parents learn too late. Children don't remember how expensive the house was, the fancy gifts, or the long hours you spent at work. What they truly remember is who showed up, who listened, and who held their hand when they needed it most. Michael finally understood that you can work for everything, but if you're not there for the ones who need you most, you risk losing them before you even notice. Presence, attention, and shared moments matter far more than achievements, gifts, or perfection. And in that realization, he saw the true cost of all the time he thought he was giving them. Here's the hard truth. Your job will replace you in weeks, but your children will remember your absence forever. Providing money is important, but providing presence is priceless. The time you spend with them now can never be bought later. A missed bedtime story, a skipped school event, a forgotten call, all of it adds up, quietly creating a distance that might never be bridged. Michael didn't lose his children suddenly. He lost them slowly, one missed moment at a time. A missed game, a skipped recital, a bedtime story he promised but never told. Each moment seemed small, almost insignificant, but together they quietly built a distance he could not cross. If you still have time, use it. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the right opportunity. Every hug, every conversation, every shared laugh matters more than anything you can earn or buy. Presence cannot be postponed. It is precious and fleeting, because one day, you may have everything you worked for. The big house, the perfect job, the savings, but there might be no one left to share it with. And in that silence, you will finally understand that moments with your loved ones are priceless, and time once lost can never be regained. Before you scroll away, pause for a moment and think about the people who matter most. If this story touched you, share it with someone who needs this reminder today. Sometimes, a simple message, a phone call, or just being present can change everything. Don't wait for later, because later might be too late.